Hey brothers, Steffo here from the Tantric Man Experience. Today we're going to talk about how to cure premature ejaculation for good. And the best part is that we're going to do it in a natural and tantric way. If you follow these 8 tools that I will guide you through, then this will be possible for you as well. Just like it was for my clients to overcome rapid ejaculation. Premature ejaculation is super common today. 1 in 3 men struggle with this issue. Most men have encountered it at some point in their life. And it's not dependent on your age or ethnical background. So it makes it the most common sexual dysfunction of them all. What officially is classified as premature ejaculation, or PE for short, is when you ejaculate within 2 minutes of penetration. But I would like to propose something different, that PE is actually when you finish before you and your partner is ready for it. If you satisfy your partner and you're able to choose when you want to ejaculate, then you don't suffer from PE. That's my recommendation. There's a lot of dilemma today when we look at the average length of lovemaking. So sex between a couple lasts on average at 5.4 minutes before the man ejaculates. So for a woman to experience the deeper vaginal orgasms, not just the clitoral, the more superficial ones, she needs way longer time than just 5 minutes. She needs 20 minutes just to get warmed up. She needs 40 minutes to get a deep cervical orgasm, and she needs 60 minutes to have the possibility to experience the famous valley orgasm, which is the longer lasting and continuing waves of energy moving through the body. And beyond 60 minutes, you can experience a cosmic orgasm, a spiritual union, which is an ecstatic and expansive experience producing altered states of consciousness. It's a timeless, boundless state where orgasmic waves move through all of the energy centers. And women deeply crave this kind of deeper vaginal orgasms, and for men to be able to provide that to their women, they need to be in control over their ejaculation. To make their partner satisfied, fulfilled and happy, and to have a spiritual sexual experience, you need to last around 60 minutes in bed. And you can do the math yourself and see that the numbers 5 to 60 does not add up, right? What I have seen in my work is that the problem actually causes breakups in relationship, divorces in marriage, and that might sound like a superficial reason for getting a divorce. I agree, but that's the reality many couples are living in. And not having control over ejaculation and finishing too quickly oftentimes affects the man's self-confidence. It's frustrating, it can even be devastating to experience that in a relationship, affecting the quality of life. As they say, happy wife, happy life, right? If your sexual life is off, the rest of your life will also be off, not lived to its full potential. This may evoke feelings of not being good enough, being inadequate, feeling disappointed that he's not able to satisfy his beloved partner. So your life might be great in all other areas, in your work, your family, friends, but the PE is like an invisible force hanging heavy on the shoulders in the background of everyday life. Furthermore, it can hold a man back in his life because of these issues, not taking action to achieve his highest goals, not speaking up for himself, blocking him to become the man on top of the world that he might dream about. Controlling ejaculation is a skill that every man should master in his life, so he can live in full confidence, maintain a healthy relationship and satisfy his partner. Just because this is such a widespread problem doesn't mean it has to be this way. While 33% of men are struggling with premature ejaculation and the depression it causes, a small handful of smart men are secretly controlling their ejaculation for as long as they want, without the wrong, harmful techniques and medications. They're able to choose when they want to ejaculate, whether that's in 20 minutes, 2 hours, or 21 days. That's totally up to them. They're going from lasting for only a few seconds in bed to a whole hour in a matter of weeks. And for the first time ever in their life, and they're in the mid-40s. No BS. I see this in my clients all the time. So with this control, you can just imagine how their sexual confidence is skyrocketing. Not to mention them feeling better about themselves in general. Every man that feels in control of himself will feel a sense of success and achievement simply because it's imprinted in our masculine DNA. Imagine using all the positive momentum that this will build up, the increased level of confidence and success, the elevated emotional state, and the sense of being in control of your sexual energy. To harness all that and direct it towards realizing your relationship goals. I have literally seen clients attract a deeply meaningful relationship as well as double their income in a matter of weeks doing this. If that wouldn't completely cure any type of depression, I don't know what could. Most men feel like their life have changed forever when they master this. When they wake up in the morning and they roll over and they look into the eyes of their beloved and they know from the bottom of their heart that she loves him back. When you're living in this high state, resting in your masculine center, and you're totally knowing you got your shit together, then, my friends, then you're able to attract the woman of your dreams because you send out the frequency of trust and presence. Not because some fake macho mask pretending to be someone you're not, but because you trust yourself and you're present with yourself. That is very attractive to women. They flock like magnets to men like that because those men are rare and they're hard to find. So where does PE stem from? Premature ejaculation is influenced by three main root causes. The first one is physical. So here we have diabetes, heart problems, obesity, tobacco smoking, alcohol. All these things have been associated with premature ejaculation. So if you don't have any of these physical issues, that's great. You can then rule them out. You can move on to the next ones. Number two is the psychological. Here we have depression, sexual trauma, sexual guilt, and sexual shame. All these can make premature ejaculation more likely. And the last one, number three, is relationship. We have power struggles here, poor communication, anger at your partner, fear of commitment to the relationship, fear of intimacy with your partner, or feeling pressure to perform. All these reduces a man's ejaculatory control. So how do we overcome PE? Well, first off, you'll have to rule out any physical cause and fix that. So if you're obese, the number one priority in your case should be to lose weight and get healthy. Then you can move on to the next one and deal with the other causes of the psychological and relational. What you will hear as a recommendation in the mainstreams are silly things such as, wearing condoms or even multiple condoms, numbing creams, masturbate and ejaculate before your sexual date, or thinking about random things like solving a mathematical problem in your head. I do not recommend any of those. They are not what I consider mastering your sexuality and being present in the moment, but rather it's like cheating your way to your goal without dealing with the root issue. They are a distraction tool that will never be able to make PE go away for good and will not allow you to take control. So I recommend the following 8 tools to overcome PE. Number 1, relax, slow down, and breathe. The number one most important thing is to relax. Relax the pelvic floor, because contraction leads to ejaculation. What happens when you ejaculate? Have you noticed that your perineum is pumping and contracting, right? So you need to be able to relax. So many guys rush things and gets overexcited when it comes to sex. You know, like they're like, wow, a naked body, a naked woman. But you need to learn to control this excitement and calm down. The key here is to breathe deeply. Most people breathe from their chest, up here. But here I invite you to breathe all the way down to your belly. Deep yogic belly breathing. This is the natural way animals and babies are breathing, which most adults have lost. Number 2, stop watching porn. Porn programs your brain to ejaculate quickly. It's just that simple. It's an addiction. Stop it. And it's often accompanied by the death grip, right? With a forceful way of masturbating with friction and a too strong grip on the penis. That's terrible. That's the wrong method of masturbating when it comes to lasting longer in Tantra. So stop porn for at least 6 months and see how it will transform your relationship to sex and premature ejaculation. If you've never gone without porn for that long in your life, I challenge you to try it out. If you need help and support, read my article. It's called How to Quit Porn with Tantra. 7 tantric practices for porn addiction. The next one, practice edging, the start-stop technique. This technique is a legit tantric technique that has been tested by science. It helps you to reprogram your brain and to be more in tune with your sexual energy. The idea is that you stimulate yourself to the point before you ejaculate, called the point of no return. Before you reach there, you stop. You're going to take a break from stimulation and wait until the sexual energy goes down. And when it has subsided enough, then you start to stimulate again and build up your excitement until before the point of no return. And then you continue in this matter for as long as possible. And that leads us to the next point. Know your personal arousal level. You need to learn how to gauge your personal level of arousal. 0% being turned off and 100% is ejaculation, game over. So the more in tune you are with your level, the better you will be at controlling ejaculation. So you will start pleasuring yourself until you get to about 80% of your full pleasure. And then you stop pleasuring until you come down to an arousal level of 40%. And you will then surf between 40 and 80% between these two. So you go up to 80 and then you come down to 40. Up to 80, down to 40. Riding the waves, so to speak, the arousal waves. Combining the skill of knowing your arousal level with the previous edging technique is a great successful combination. And after you master your own arousal level, you can then graduate to also learn your partner's arousal level. When you know both yours and your partner's, you'll be a master of knowing when it's the right time to slow down and speed up the intensity of the lovemaking. Learning this takes time and it's not easy and it can be frustrating to learn by yourself, but it's well worth it. Your partner will thank you for it. Number 5, move your sexual energy. Many people miss this part when it comes to curing PE, but moving your sexual energy is essential. Without this, a lot of stagnation and illnesses may occur. So you might ask, how do I move my sexual energy? Using your visualization is key to make this successful. Visualize energy moving up the spine from the testicles to the top of the head. Use the power of your mind to focus only on this, removing all the distracting thoughts and the focus on the pleasure and the sensation. You can also use yogic and tantric techniques to move the energy, like breathing exercises, pranayama for example. Breathe in for the count of 4 and exhale for the count of 8. In and out through the nostrils. Only that small, simple exercise will put you into the parasympathetic nervous system. This is the place where you will gain more control and better erections, and will allow you to deeply relax and postpone ejaculation. Use also energy locks like mudras and bandhas to manipulate the energy upwards in your body. If you want to try to move your energy, the best place to start is to check out my article and my video instructions called Testicle Breathing, why you should breathe with your balls. Alright, so the next one is strengthen your penis. Another important part to cure PE is to exercise your intricate muscles, the pelvic floor muscle, which for most men are totally neglected and weak. If these muscles are weak and untrained, you need to practice the penis strengthening exercise called Kegels or Kegels. It's performed by contracting your pelvic floor using the PC muscles. It's the same muscle you use when you go to urinate and have to stop it midstream. It's the same muscle that makes your penis jump up and down when having an erection. And this exercise is great for strengthening your neglected muscles of the penis, but it also provides the benefits of a mind-body connection, connecting your brain signals with the physical sensation, creating increased awareness and mindfulness. Please note here, this is a disclaimer, okay? Don't overtrain. Don't overtrain these muscles down there. It can cause chronic pelvic floor tightness issues. I get messages all the time from men who are practicing these by themselves. They found some online guide and went ahead and practiced this the wrong way and now develop chronic pain, and no Western doctors are able to help them. So do not practice these techniques by yourself without the supervision from a professional teacher. So learn more about Kegels and how to practice it the right way in my comprehensive article called Pelvic Floor Exercises for Men to Last Longer. All right, the next one is sounding. Most people are familiar with the female partner making most or all the sound and moans during love making, right? And many guys find it awkward or strange to make sounds, not realizing that sounding is a powerful tool for lasting longer in bed. It will sublimate the sexual energy up to the spine. This notion that men should be quiet is an old negative social program that blocks men from experiencing their full sexual potential. If you have the courage to go beyond your inhibitions and shame about these kind of love-making sounds, you are on your way to becoming a sexual master. Sounding, moaning, chanting, singing, even screaming for that matter, is one of the most powerful ways to move energy and take control over your PE. So unleash your inner wild man. Let that cage animal inside of you loose. Close your windows and roar like a lion. And the next one is conscious communication with your partner. A big reason for rapid ejaculation is fear. Fear that you will not perform in bed, fear of not being good enough, fear that your partner will have pain or not be satisfied, fear that you will not be having an erection. All this fear is perpetuated by not speaking to it, thus creating performance anxiety and getting stuck in your head. You don't want to be in your head while you make love. That's the last place. That's the place of PE. This will only escalate the PE and start feeding into a self-fulfilling prophecy. The way to eradicate the fear and anxiety is to communicate with your partner, and not just communicate in a demanding or a pushy way of like forcing your need upon them, no, but to practice consciously conscious communication. You need to get really vulnerable with yourself so you can be direct about what you do and don't like, what you will like from your partner, what you're willing to do for your partner, and what you're not interested to do at all. So explore those things. Explore assumptions, your desires, wants, needs, and blockages. If you don't know what you need and what your partner needs, you can just imagine the limitations that brings, right? Understanding will result in more confidence and less worries about performance. Ask yourself, for example, is your partner just putting up with sex? Something that's very common for women today. Do you feel like she just wants to get it over with? If she's not enjoying it or finds it painful, of course, those things will make you want to ejaculate quickly. In that case, you need to talk about what she needs to make it more enjoyable. Is it longer foreplay? Is it being more emotional connected? Is it more lubrication? Support with removing tension from the pelvic floor maybe. Alright, so the last tool for you is to seek help from a sex and relationship expert. So once you have some of these conversations, if the difficulties remains, you can seek help from a professional coach or a Tantra teacher. And if you've been trying to solve these things yourself without success, it's time to ask for support. A lot of men shy away from asking for help. And this highly limits us from developing into the men that we were meant to be. There is no powerful and confident man in the world today who was not getting coached, support, or get help in some kind of way to get to the top. If you feel it's unmanly to get help and want to do things the lone wolf way, take a look at that and maybe trying to see where it's coming from. Might it be some social programming that you're still holding on to? If you are open-minded and find yourself still struggling after trying these tips and tools, I can help you get control over your ejaculation and stop premature ejaculation for good. So you can regain your confidence in your relationship and reignite the passion in the bedroom. If that is you, go and watch my free training in the link below. Just register with your email and gain access to your 24-hour pass. And you can start watching this training right away. This is everything for today. I'll be happy to be at your service. Steph for checking out. Stay strong in love, brothers.